Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me Saira Mustaba with the Midday News. The headlines. President Ramnath Kovind to host two-day Visitors Conference 2022 in New Delhi from today. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates the new building of the National Tribal Research Institute in New Delhi, says NTRI to play a crucial role in tribal development. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman flags off iconic day celebrations of the Corporate Affairs Ministry as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Also launches National CSR Exchange Portal. Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia announces first ever National Air Sports Policy 2022 in New Delhi. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia launches the logo for Ayurveda Ahar on occasion of World Food Safety Day. India-Bangladesh joint military exercise Sampriti commences at Joshore in Bangladesh. 3 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in North Kashmir. IMD issues orange alert for some of the northern parts of the country over the heat wave condition, which is likely to continue till tomorrow. And Indonesia Masters Badminton Tournament begins in Jakarta. Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman today said that regulators and other entities should be well advanced and ahead of the curve in understanding digitization to ensure there is no misuse of technologies. She emphasized the need to have firewall mechanisms in the context of digitization. The minister said the decade from 2020 and upwards will be infused with digital methods. Ms. Sitharaman was speaking at the event to flag off iconic day celebrations of the Corporate Affairs Ministry as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Ms. Sitharaman said that the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is certainly uniquely placed to facilitate as well as regulate affairs in the ministry.
The Companies Act and also the IBC, in order to keep itself robust, time relevant and nimble, have continuously kept responding to the need of the hour, need of the day and the global best practices, and therefore didn't fight shy of going to the Parliament any number of times with amendments. And therefore I would think the Corporate Affairs Ministry has so much more to talk about and to relate and in fact directly or indirectly inform the public.
She said the Competition Commission of India CCI and the National Financial Reporting Authority NFRA should be ahead of the curve in the context of digitization to ensure fair and accountable practices as well as there is no misuse of technologies. She said compliance burden for 2 lakh small companies reduced during the pandemic. Corporate Affairs Secretary Rajesh Verma said the ministry will be coming out with various tools including for compliance management and emphasize its focus on technology-driven platforms to facilitate ease of doing business. Mr. Verma said various measures have been taken in the last 8 years to ease the compliance burden. At the event, the National CSR Exchange Portal was launched. Among others, a commemorative postal stamp on investor awareness was released and a special window for those 75 years and above with respect to claims was launched by Investor Education Protection Fund Authority. President Ramnath Kovind will host the Visitors Conference 2022 at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi today. President Kovind will present the Visitors Awards 2020 in the categories of research and technological development. The two-day conference will witness presentations and deliberations on various topics such as international rankings of higher education institutions, collaboration between academia, industry and policymakers, education and research in emerging and disruptive technologies. The President is a visitor of 161 central institutes of higher education. Apart from the heads of these institutions, Education and Skill Development Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will also attend the conference.
Home Minister Amit Shah has said that the National Tribal Research Institute will play a crucial role in tribal development. Inaugurating the newly built National Tribal Research Institute at India Institute of Public Administration campus in New Delhi, Mr. Shah said it is being established at a cost of 10 crore rupees. He said the government is taking several measures for the development of tribal communities. Mr. Shah said this research institute will help the government in framing the policy.
आज राष्ट्रीय जनजाति अनुसंधान संस्थान जो बन रहा है वो इतना ही बड़ा कार्य है। 50 साल के बाद इसके योगदान को अगर कोई देखेगा तो उसको मालूम पड़ेगा कि मोदी जी की कल्पना क्या थी। अनेक प्रकार के 2 दर्जन से भी ज्यादा जनजाति अनुसंधान संस्थान अलग अलग नाम से अलग अलग संस्थाओं के तत्वाधान में काम कर रहे हैं, मगर उसको राष्ट्रीय रूप से जोड़ने वाली कड़ी नहीं।
Speaking on the occasion, Tribal Affairs Minister Arjun Munta said that the new research institute will serve as an institution of development for the people living in tribal areas.
यह जनजातीय शोध संस्थान राष्ट्रीय जनजातीय शोध संस्थान के रूप में एक नया अध्याय संस्थागत विकास जनजातीय समाज जनजातीय क्षेत्रों के लिए एक इंस्टीट्यूशनल डेवलपमेंट का नया अध्याय प्रारंभ हुआ है और जिसको आपने देखा 8 साल बेमिसाल और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने उद्धृत किया कि जनजाति क्षेत्र और जनजाति भाइयों के लिए किस तरीके से हमें देश में काम कर रहे हैं और काम करने की आवश्यकता है।
Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia today announced the first ever National Air Sports Policy 2022 in New Delhi. The objective of this policy is to include India among the top air sporting nations by 2030. It is also aimed at providing a safe, affordable and sustainable air sports ecosystem in the country. 11 air sports including aerobatics, ballooning, gliding, parachuting, powered aircraft and rotorcraft will be promoted through this policy. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Scindia said, this policy will create a robust ecosystem of air sports activities in the country. He said this will help in generation of 1 lakh jobs in the sector and increase the revenue from existing 100 crore rupees to 10,000 crore rupees in the coming years.
The Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, which is the FAI, is the international body that looks after air sports, founded in 1905 with 100 members, of which India is also a member. And currently, India's revenue is roughly about 80 to 100 crores from air sports, with roughly about 5,000 odd air sports practitioners.
Highlighting the salient features of the policy, the Civil Aviation Minister said segregated airspaces will be created in certain locations to allow uninhibited air sporting activities in the designated areas. He said domestic manufacturing of air sports equipment will be promoted through this policy. Mr. Scindia said 4-tier governance structure, Air Sports Federation of India, has been formed, which will cover all aspects of air sports.
Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said that the dream of developed India can be realized only if its citizens are healthy. Addressing World Food Safety Day celebration in New Delhi today, Dr. Mandavia said, "A healthy citizens make a healthy society." He said Narendra Modi government has established health and wellness centers across the country to provide affordable and accessible health care for all.
हेल्थ केयर एक्सेसिबल एंड अफोर्डेबल हो, इसलिए मोदी जी ने हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर बनाया। नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन के तहत डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल को स्ट्रेंथन किया। हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एक मेडिकल कॉलेज खुले, ऐसा प्रयास किया। आज 300 में से 600, आजादी के बाद 2014 तक 300 और 2014 के बाद केवल 7-8 साल में वो बढ़ के 600 मेडिकल कॉलेज बन गई।
On the occasion of the World Food Safety Day, Dr. Mandavia launched the logo for Ayurveda Ahar. He said this will help in creating a unique identity of Ayurveda Ahar for easy identification and its proven benefits to improve health and well-being. Dr. Mandavia highlighted that in the last few years, healthcare has also seen a holistic development in the country. He said states have an important role in ensuring food safety and healthy food practices. Dr. Mandavia said it is the need of the hour that all citizens come together to ensure a healthy nation. The minister also released Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, FSSAI 4th State Food Safety Index, SFSI, to measure the performance of states across 5 parameters of food safety. SFSI was started from 2018-19 with the aim of creating competitive and positive change in the food safety ecosystem in the country. He said the index will help in providing safe and nutritious food to the citizens. Today is World Food Safety Day. The day is observed around the world to promote awareness and encourage adequate steps to prevent, detect and manage foodborne risks. The United Nations has declared this day to draw global attention to the health consequences of contaminated food and water. Every year, the organization comes up with a theme that focuses on the current and potential challenges around food safety. This year, the theme is Safer Food, Better Health. We have a report.
The day was set aside by the United Nations in 2018 to raise awareness of food safety. According to the United Nations, around 600 million cases of foodborne illnesses are reported every year, which makes unsafe food one of the most concerning threats for human health. Diseases arising from unhygienic food affect the most vulnerable people and marginalized sections of society, especially children, women, and victims of conflicts. The World Food Safety Day comes as an opportunity to strive more and strengthen efforts to ensure that people eat safe, which is clean and safe. As per World Health Organization, various governments across the globe, educational institutions and workplaces, consumers and food businesses all play an important role in keeping food safe. P.V. Varghese, AAR News, Delhi.
Secretary General of Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, or BIMSTEC, Tenzin Leffel, has said that in its 25 years of existence, the BIMSTEC has proved to be a bridge of friendship connecting the people of South and Southeast Asia. Speaking on the occasion of the 25th founding day of BIMSTEC in Dhaka yesterday, he said that the institutional framework of BIMSTEC is being carefully crafted to facilitate regional cooperation. The Secretary General said that establishment of the BIMSTEC Secretariat in Dhaka in 2014 and adoption of the BIMSTEC Charter at the 5th Summit in Colombo this year are two major milestones that BIMSTEC has achieved. He expressed hope that the member states will take advantage of it to build a truly connected Bay of Bengal region. The 10th edition of the military exercise Sampriti between the armies of India and Bangladesh has commenced at Joshore in Bangladesh. The exercise is being conducted from the 5th to the 16th of June and will focus on joint counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency operations, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operation. The exercise was inaugurated by General Officer Commanding, or GOC, 55 Infantry Division and Area Commander, Joshore Area Major General Muhammad Nurul Anwar yesterday. The Indian side is being led by Brigadier General Rupesh Sehgal of the Indian Army.
Over 194 crore 27 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. 3,714 new cases were recorded in the last 24 hours. India's active caseload currently stands at 26,976. The recovery rate is currently at 98.72%. In Jammu and Kashmir, 3 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists, including 2 Pakistanis, were eliminated by security forces in separate encounters in North Kashmir in less than 12 hours. Giving details, police said 2 LET terrorists, including 1 from Pakistan, were killed in an encounter that broke out early this morning at Chaktaras Kandi area of Kupwara district. Earlier, another Pakistani terrorist of Lashkar-e-Taiba was neutralized by security forces in Baramulla district. The gunfight broke out last evening in Panipora forest of Zalura area in Sopore after a joint team of security forces launched a cordon and search operation following the intelligence input about the presence of terrorists in the area. In Jammu and Kashmir, police recovered 3 magnetic IEDs attached as a payload with a drone last night. They were brought down and defused at Dayaran area of Kanachak in the outskirts of Jammu. Our correspondent reports that Border Security Force officials observed a drone activity in Kanachak area and fired some shots towards the drone. Immediately, police party was deployed and they followed anti-drone SOP in the general area.
In Jammu and Kashmir Hill District, Shopian has now got its own clock tower like the iconic clock tower of Lal Chowk in the heart of the summer capital, Srinagar. This fulfills a long public demand and a dream of scores of residents eager to glimpse the majestic 52-feet landmark. Costing over 50 lakh rupees, it is the first triangular tower of the Union Territory in terms of its structure. The tower is situated in Gol Chowk, which is the business nerve center of the district. Gol Chowk is of great political significance as prominent leaders including former Prime Minister Chaudhry Charan Singh addressed gatherings at the venue in the past. Talking to AIR News, Executive Officer of the Shopian Municipal Council Suhail Malik said, the clock tower will not only enhance the beauty of the place but also provide information to the people about the weather and air quality.
म्युनिसिपल काउंसिल शोपियान ने कुछ मेजर इनिशिएटिव्स उठाए हैं रिगार्डिंग ब्यूटिफिकेशन ऑफ द टाउन, जैसे कि पेंटिंग ऑफ ग्राफिटीज म्यूरल्स टुवर्ड द वॉल्स ऑफ द टाउन, इल्यूमिनेशन, डेवलपमेंट ऑफ फुटपाथ्स एंड अदर मेजर इनिशिएटिव्स लाइक जो हमने रिसेंटली यहाँ पे कंस्ट्रक्ट किया है क्लॉक टावर. इट इज द बिगेस्ट एंड टॉलेस्ट क्लॉक टावर ऑफ होल यूटी ऑफ JNK. विद इट हम जल्द ही इसमें रियल टाइम वेदर इंफॉर्मेशन ऐड करने वाले हैं और ये जो मेजर इनिशिएटिव्स हैं ये कंटिन्यू रहेंगे फॉर नेक्स्ट फिस्कल ईयर ऑल्सो.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. President Ramnath Kovind to host two-day visitors conference 2022 in New Delhi from today. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates the new building of National Tribal Research Institute in New Delhi, says NTRI to play a crucial role in tribal development. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman flags off iconic day celebrations of the Corporate Affairs Ministry as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Also launches National CSR Exchange Portal. Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia announces first ever National Air Sports Policy 2022 in New Delhi. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia launches the logo for Ayurveda Ahar on occasion of World Food Safety Day. India-Bangladesh joint military exercise Sampriti commences at Joshore in Bangladesh. 3 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in North Kashmir. IMD issues orange alert for some of the northern parts of the country over the heat wave condition which is likely to continue till tomorrow. And Indonesia Masters Badminton tournament begins in Jakarta. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब. इस बार का विषय है इकोनॉमिक्स और सवाल भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 8 जून. आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास.
महिलाओं के विकास में भागीदार भारत सरकार. देश में PM आवास की 68% मालिक महिलाएं हैं. 35 करोड़ मुद्रा लोन लाभार्थियों में से 23 करोड़ महिलाएं हैं.
देश ने संकल्प लिया है 100% लाभार्थियों तक पहुंचने का.
8 साल सेवा, सुशासन, गरीब कल्याण.
जन जन ने निर्णय लेकर भारत की सूरत बदली है. कदम कदम पे जनता मोदी जी के साथ चली है. 8 साल में हमने संभव को संभव कर डाला है. जब में उगे सूरज का देखो पश्चिम में भी उजाला है. साथ गई अब दिन आएगा भी तो ये बस भोर है. ये भारत का
Welcome back. You're listening to the Midday News. The Union government has made unprecedented investments in infrastructure in the last 8 years to take India to new heights. Infrastructure is the basis of development of any nation. As soon as Prime Minister Narendra Modi came to power in 2014, he emphasized on strengthening the infrastructure. The Modi government laid special focus on construction of roads, airways, waterways, ports and improvement in rail infrastructure. Our correspondent reports that this will not only boost the economic development of the country, but also facilitate the seamless transportation and passenger service, which will in turn reduce the logistic costs and save fuel.
In order to accelerate the pace of development through ports in the country, the Modi government launched the Sagarmala program in 2015. Transportation of heavy goods through rivers is cheaper than by road or rail, and keeping this in mind, for the first time, special importance is being given to the development of inland water transport. Prime Minister Modi had stressed that the use of waterways will save both time and money.
जलमार्ग से समय और पैसा बचेगा. इस जलमार्ग से कितनी मदद होने वाली है. सड़क पर भीड़ भी कम होगी, ईंधन का खर्च भी कम होगा और गाड़ियों से होने वाले प्रदूषण से भी राहत मिलेगी.
Modi government laid a lot of emphasis on the construction of roads, as roads and development are interlinked. Earlier in 2014, only 12 kilometers of national highway was constructed per day. The pace of construction has now touched 37 kilometers per day. Along with the construction of national highways, special emphasis was laid on rural connectivity through roads. Minister of State for Rural Development Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti said that the construction of roads under the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana in the villages has brought ease of doing business.
हमने जो मानक तय किया, विद्यालय, अस्पताल, बाजार, मंडी, ऐसी कोई जगह न छूटे जहाँ सड़क से न जुड़ा हो। सड़क जब होती है तो व्यापारी भी देता है, व्यापार करने बाजार भी आते हैं लोग। सड़क होती है तो सहजता हो जाती है, सुगमता हो जाती है अस्पताल जाने के लिए। और मेरा मानना यह है कि जैसे शरीर में जो नसें होती है खून दौड़ाने का, ऐसे ही सड़कें विकास की गति को दौड़ाने के लिए महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाती हैं।
With the strengthening of infrastructure, not only movement will be easier, but inclusive and holistic development of the country will also be possible. With Dipendra Kumar, Suparna Saikya, AIR News, Delhi.
India Meteorological Department IMD has issued an orange alert for some of the northern parts of the country over the heat wave condition which is likely to continue till tomorrow. Talking to AIR News, senior scientist in IMD RK Ramani has said North Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, Delhi and Bundelkhand region will experience heat wave conditions where temperatures will vary between 44 and 47 degrees Celsius. Mr. Jiramani said people have been advised to take all precautions while venturing out, like covering the body with cotton clothes and drinking plenty of water.
Forecast is that we have issued some of the area orange alert also and yellow alert. This heat wave will continue till 8 June and temperature will remain 45 plus also some of the place. That's why we advise to take all safety steps like you cover your body with cotton cloth, take sufficient water.
And now, let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On 7 June 1893 in South Africa, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, then a young barrister, was on his way from Durban to Pretoria on behalf of his client named Dada Abdullah. When the train came to a stop in Pietermaritzburg, Gandhiji was ordered by the conductor to move from the first-class carriage where he was sitting to the van compartment for lower-class travellers. When Gandhiji refused, showing the conductor his first-class ticket, he was evicted unceremoniously from the train.
What are you doing in this car, Puri?
Why, I have a ticket. A first-class ticket.
How did you get out of it?
I sent for it in the post. I'm an attorney and I didn't have time
There are no coloured attorneys in South Africa. Go and sit where you belong. I'll take your luggage back, sir.
No. Just a moment, please. You see? Mohandas K. Gandhi, attorney at law. I'm on my way to Pretoria to conduct a case for an Indian trading fund.
Didn't you hear me? There are no coloured attorneys in South Africa.
Sir, I was called to the bar in London and enrolled at the High Court of Chancery. I am, therefore, an attorney. And since I am, in your eyes, coloured, I think we can deduce that there is at least one coloured attorney in South Africa.
Smart bloody chapper.
Throw him. Just move your black ass back to third class, or I'll have you thrown over the next station.
But I always go first class. I've travelled all...
A plaque on the platform marks the approximate spot where he was pushed from the train carriage with his luggage. This incident changed the course of his life, it reads. Talking exclusively to All India Radio News, Director, National Gandhi Museum, A. Annamalai, discussed the impact of the incident on Gandhiji's life.
When thrown off from the train, his image was scattered. He was in a big dilemma, whether we have to continue in South Africa or we can go back to India. Then he realized in the night, in the shivering cold, that this happened not to M.K. Gandhi, but the proud Indian. It was an attack on the Indian civilization. Therefore, he decided on that night that I should dedicate my life to remove the color injustice and the disparity in this foreign land. That time, as many biographers referred as the birth of real Mahatma.
After the Peter Maritzburg incident, Gandhiji chose to peacefully oppose discriminatory policies, organizing strikes and marches to counter biased voting regulations and intolerable working conditions. Out of these beliefs emerged the concept of Satyagraha, which the Mahatma first employed in South Africa to fight against racial prejudices, and then in India to fight against British colonialism.
7th June is also the death anniversary of Dundee Khan. He was in the service of the English East India Company Army, but left it and took part in the struggle for freedom from the foreign rule during 1857. He also led a group of rebels and attacked the British establishments for seizing their properties and arms. Caught by the company troops in the course of an encounter, he was accused of plundering, desertion and mutiny against the British Empire. He was sentenced to imprisonment for life with hard labor and iron in July 1857. He was transported from Bombay to the Andaman Islands in April 1858. Dundee Khan died while in captivity at Cellular Jail on the 7th of June 1858.
We also remember Martyr Nishan Singh. Nishan Singh was a resident of district Shahabad, Bihar. He was a close associate of Kumar Singh and fought along with him in the battles of Jagdishpur, Jaunpur, Hajipur, Kanpur, Lucknow and Banda during the First War of Independence in 1857. He was arrested in his village and was mercilessly blown into pieces by cannon on 7th of June 1858. We salute the great son of the soil.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Indian cricket team is all set to lock horns with South Africa in a 5-match 2020 international series from Thursday. The first encounter is scheduled to take place at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in Delhi on the 9th of June from 7 p.m. KL Rahul will lead the Indian squad while Rishabh Pant will be his deputy. Themba Bhavuma will take command of South African team. The two teams will play the subsequent matches in Cuttack on the 12th, Visakhapatnam on the 14th, Rajkot on the 17th and the last one in Bangalore on the 19th of this month.
In badminton, Indonesia Masters 2022 begins in Jakarta today. The tournament started with the qualifying matches today, followed by first and second round quarterfinals, semi-finals and conclude with the finals on the 12th of this month. At the tournament, all eyes will be on PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen as the two-seeded Indian shutters will look to continue their impressive run. In the ongoing Khelo India Youth Games in Panchkula, Shahabad, Ambala, Chandigarh and Delhi, Haryana has retained the leading position in the medals tally by winning 16 gold, 13 silver and 20 bronze medals, while Maharashtra is following with 13 gold, 14 silver and 14 bronze medals. And Manipur is at the third position with 11 gold, 3 silver along with 1 bronze. Punjab is at the fourth position with 6 gold, 4 silver and 4 bronze medals.
Now let us take a quick look at the weather update for the day. The national capital Delhi is having heat wave today. The minimum temperature is recorded at 32 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 45 degrees. Mumbai is likely to have generally cloudy sky with light rain and drizzle. And now, before I end the bulletin, the headlines once again. President Ramnath Kovind to host two-day Visitors Conference 2022 in New Delhi from today. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates the new building of the National Tribal Research Institute in New Delhi. Says NTRI to play a crucial role in tribal development. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman flags off iconic day celebrations of the Corporate Affairs Ministry as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Also launches National CSR Exchange Portal. Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia announces first ever National Air Sports Policy 2022 in New Delhi. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia launches the logo for Ayurveda Ahar on the occasion of World Food Safety Day. India-Bangladesh joint military exercise Sampriti commences at Joshore in Bangladesh. 3 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in North Kashmir. IMD issues orange alert for some of the northern parts of the country over the heatwave condition which is likely to continue till tomorrow. And Indonesia Masters Badminton tournament begins in Jakarta. And with that we end the Midday News.